The world is changing. The familiar image of American dominance is fading, replaced by a more complex and fluid reality. For decades, the United States stood alone at the pinnacle of global power. Today, however, new centers of influence are emerging, challenging the established order and ushering in an era of multipolarity. This shift is not merely a matter of economics or military might, although those factors are certainly in play. It is a fundamental realignment of global power dynamics, with profound implications for international relations, trade, and security. To understand this new world, we must first examine how the United States rose to its position of preeminence. The United States emerged from the ashes of World War II as a global superpower. Its economy, largely untouched by the devastation of war, was the envy of the world. Its military, bolstered by the war effort, was unmatched in strength and capability, and its political system, based on democratic principles and individual liberty, held a powerful appeal for a world weary of conflict and oppression. The United States leveraged its newfound power to shape the post-war world order. It spearheaded the creation of key international institutions, such as the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, designed to promote peace, stability, and economic development. It forged strong alliances with Western Europe and Japan, creating a bulwark against Soviet expansionism. And it used its economic and military might to contain the spread of communism, engaging in a decades-long Cold War with the Soviet Union. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the beginning of what some called the unipolar moment. The United States stood alone as the world's sole superpower, seemingly unchallenged in its military, economic, and cultural influence. However, the seeds of American decline were already being sown. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, launched in the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, proved costly in terms of both blood and treasure. The 2008 financial crisis exposed vulnerabilities in the American economy and undermined global confidence in American leadership. And at home, political polarization, rising inequality, and social unrest eroded the foundations of American power. While the United States grappled with its internal challenges, other nations were rapidly gaining ground. China, in particular, emerged as a formidable economic powerhouse, its rapid growth fueled by a combination of cheap labor, government investment, and technological innovation. Russia, under the leadership of Vladimir Putin, reasserted itself on the world stage, flexing its military muscle and seeking to re-establish its sphere of influence. The European Union, though facing its own set of challenges, remained a major economic bloc and a significant player in global affairs. India, with its vast population and burgeoning economy, emerged as another potential center of power. And other regional powers such as Brazil, Indonesia, and Japan continued to exert their influence on the world stage. The emergence of these new centers of power has led to a more complex and multipolar world order. Competition for resources, influence, and technological supremacy has intensified, trade disputes have become more common, and military buildups are underway in various parts of the world. The potential for conflict, whether conventional or in the cyber realm, has increased. However, a multipolar world is not necessarily destined for conflict. It also presents opportunities for cooperation on global challenges that no single nation can address alone, such as climate change, pandemics, and transnational terrorism. The need for collective action on these issues creates incentives for collaboration, even among nations with competing interests. Section 6. Navigating the unknown, the future of global power. The future of the multipolar world remains uncertain. Will it be characterized by conflict and rivalry, or will cooperation and collaboration prevail? The answer likely lies somewhere in between. The choices made by global leaders, the evolution of technology, and the unpredictable nature of global events will all shape the course of the 21st century. One thing is clear: the days of unchallenged American dominance are over. The United States remains a powerful nation, but it can no longer dictate the terms of the global order. It must learn to navigate a more complex and multipolar world, one in which it will need to cooperate with other nations, both old allies and potential rivals, to address common challenges and advance its interests. Section 7. The role of global leadership in a multipolar world. In this new era, the concept of global leadership itself is being redefined. The traditional model of a single hegemon calling the shots is no longer viable. Instead, leadership in a multipolar world will require a more collaborative and inclusive approach. Nations that can build trust, foster dialogue, and find common ground with others will be best positioned to exert influence. Those that cling to outdated notions of zero-sum competition and unilateral action risk being sidelined. Section 8. Technology shaping the future of geopolitics. Technology is another key factor shaping the future of the multipolar world. Advances in artificial intelligence, cyber warfare, and biotechnology have the potential to disrupt the existing balance of power and create new opportunities for both cooperation and conflict. Nations that can harness the power of these technologies will gain a significant advantage on the world stage. Those that fall behind risk becoming increasingly vulnerable. Section 9 Conclusion. Embracing the challenges and opportunities of a multipolar world. The shift to a multipolar world presents both challenges and opportunities. The potential for conflict is real, but so too is the possibility for greater cooperation and a more just and equitable global order. The United States, along with other nations, must adapt to this new reality. By embracing diplomacy, multilateralism, and a willingness to work with others, we can navigate the complexities of a multipolar world and build a more peaceful and prosperous future for all.